New is always better. This idea spawns from Neil Patrick Harris's ingenious character, Barney Stinson, from the comedy How I Met Your Mother. The premise behind the idea is obvious, while the statement is as obviously ridiculous. Many things get better with age. Wines, cheeses, and hopefully humans, to name a few. Most people, like Barney Stinson, are infatuated with new things, however. New phones, new cars, new food, new places, and in the NBA world, new players. This leaves those who are not shiny new toys to be forgotten. I'm here to shine a light on players like this, those who I believe are misunderstood, giving you a complete look at what a player truly is, what they do right, what they do wrong, and everything in between. This week, that player is Julius Randle. Julius Randle was the new guy for just a brief moment before seriously injuring himself in his very first NBA game, having to wait an entire season before playing again, and by that time, there was already another new player that drew buckets of interest. Because of this, Randle's game is not widely understood. The first thing to know about him is that he is good at many things, while not being great at anything. A fine thing for a 22-year-old with only 156 games under his belt. His most exciting skill set may be his ball handling. This is most exciting because for a league that thrives on versatility, a big man who is athletic and can dribble is a huge boost. Randle often just uses this ability to go around his slower counterparts, hesitating only for a moment before barreling into the paint. He is a matchup nightmare in this way. He also uses this superior dribbling to succeed immensely in fast break situations. He is much better in these fast breaks than in the half court, where he can sometimes appear lost or uninterested. With his ball handling being so good for someone of his size, his passing benefits. The Lakers often use this passing ability to have Randle start with the ball at the top of the key. This way, other players can cut, or more likely, use Randle as a dribble handoff screener. The Lakers benefited greatly from these dribble handoffs, along with his tendency to pass out to the perimeter. 154 of Randle's assists were for three-pointers last year, making up almost 60% of his total assists. A lot of these assists, and his 110 others, came after corralling a rebound and taking off down the court. A favorite in today's NBA, without the pass after the rebound, which usually eats up clock and allows the defense to reset, the opposing team is immediately at a disadvantage. What makes this such a positive for him is how often he puts himself in this situation. Randle is a superb defensive rebounder, especially when taking his size into account. He does an extremely nice job of boxing out, and then grabbing the rebound and taking off down the other way. The only players in NBA history with a defensive rebounding percentage of at least 28% and an assist percentage of at least 15% at age 22 are Bill Walton and Julius Randle. What's even more incredible is that Bill Walton only played 35 games by the time he was 22. One aspect of Randle's game that is not yet good is his three-point shooting. There is some hope, however, as he was a pretty decent mid-range shooter, shooting 46% from 10 to 14 feet last season. His post-up fadeaways were by far his least accurate, but his spot-up J's, or pick-and-pops, were massively successful. His three-pointer could become, and needs to become, a weapon, but simply is not yet. This would make his pump-fake drives even more effective than they already are against opposing bigs. His defense could also use some improvement. He has so many of the tools to succeed, and yet his desire to be good on that end wanes. Later in his career, he will be important defensively because of how well he can do when switched on to a smaller guard. He also has a well-documented history of only being able to finish with his left hand. His versatility and ability to do many things well is what made him the best player on the Lakers last season, and one that should not be forgotten simply because he is no longer brand new.